What's up, weebs? It's time to rise. Because anime's comeback wave is about to hit hard. We're not talking about brand new titles. These are the legends making their grand return. Dark curses, fiery battles, emotional farewells. Yeah, it's that kind of year. So gear up, refill that ramen bowl, and let's dive into the most anticipated returning anime that are about to shake the world once again. Let's kick things off with one of the biggest names in modern shounen jump. Jujutsu Kaisen. Season 2 ended in absolute chaos. Shibuya in ruins, Gojo sealed, and Sukuna unleashed like never before. And now all eyes are on what comes next, the Culling Game arc. And this is where things get wild. Yuji and Megumi are forced into a deadly tournament orchestrated by Kenjaku, where sorcerers, both old and new, face off in all-out warfare. So expect new characters with insane curse techniques, unpredictable alliances, and the kind of high-stakes tension only JJK can deliver. The Culling Game arc is darker, bloodier, and more emotional than anything before. Friendships are tested, some major deaths might be coming, and Yuji's morals will be pushed to their absolute limit. With the studio continuing to be MAPPA, you already know what that means: fluid fights, dynamic camera work, and pure chaos on screen. But there's one big concern: the production quality. The studio is juggling two massive projects at once, so let's pray JJK doesn't suffer the same issues of Season 2. It's expected to air around January 2026, making it one of the most anticipated anime in upcoming year. So brace yourself, because if Shibuya arc was the tragedy, the Culling Game will be the war that defines the Jujutsu world. Next up, we have the anime that dethroned the OG on my anime list, Frieren. Season 1 ended with Frieren quietly continuing her journey, carrying the weight of memories while slowly learning to treasure the present. It wasn't just a fantasy, it was a reflection on life, loss, and the fleeting beauty of moments. The Season 2 is set to adapt from the continued Northern Travels arc all the way through the Goddess's Monument arc, and that means some of the manga's best and most emotional stories are coming to life. We'll see Fern and Stark will step further into the spotlight, proving their strength not just as allies, but as the next generation of heroes carrying on Himmel's legacy. Along the way, Frieren will face powerful new demons, uncover ancient secrets tied to the goddess, and confront tragedies that will hit harder than any battle. These aren't just battles, they're explorations of loss, regret, and the fragile line between humans and demons. And as Frieren draws closer to her ultimate goal of reuniting with Himmel's soul, the road ahead becomes even more dangerous and emotional, with enemies and choices that push her further than ever before. It's expected to air on January 16th, 2026, and if Season 1 was about the weight of time, then Season 2 will be about the price of moving forward through it. Up next, we have one of the best isekai stories ever told, Mushoku Tensei. Season 2 left us on a high note. Rudius finally found peace with Sylphie, faced his past with maturity, and began building the family he once thought he'd never have. But what if that was only the calm before the storm? Season 3 will pick up after the Labyrinth tragedy, where Rudius finally reunites with his family and begins to heal from his father's death. For a brief moment, peace returns to his life, but destiny doesn't let him rest for long. As the world around him begins to shift, Rudius finds himself drawn into a political struggle far greater than anything he's faced before. With Princess Ariel's path to the throne hanging in the balance, he's forced to step into a realm he's always avoided, one ruled by power, deceit, and the unseen hands of gods shaping the future. This time, the battle isn't just against monsters or fate. It's about navigating choices that will test his morality, his alliances, and his resolve. With only a brief teaser being released so far, fans are already bracing themselves for what's to come. Because if the earlier seasons were about redemption, then Season 3 will be about consequence, and how even a man reborn can't escape the weight of his past forever. It's rumored to air in April 2026, so prepare yourself. The calm before the storm is nearly over, and Rudius's next chapter is about to begin soon. Next up, we got the anime that redefined isekai genre, Re:Zero. Season 3 left Subaru and his allies victorious after the brutal battle at Pristella, but their triumph came at a heavy cost. Rem lies in a deep slumber, her very name consumed. Crush's memories erased, and even Julius's existence forgotten by the world. Now, Subaru's desperate search for a way to save them leads him to a name whispered across legends, the Sage of the Pleiades Watchtower. Season 4 is expected to adapt the Pleiades Watchtower arc, where Subaru and the Amelia camp embark on a perilous expedition across the vast desert of the Auguria Dunes, a place so deadly that even Reinhard, the Sword Saint himself, once failed to conquer it. But what lies ahead is far more than sand and storms. The group faces incomprehensible trials, an onslaught of magical beasts, and secrets buried deep within the tower's halls, including a truth that could rewrite everything Subaru thought he knew. This arc raises the stakes higher than ever, filled with tension, mystery, and the emotional torment that ReZero is famous for. Subaru's mind and body will be tested beyond their limits, as betrayal, memory loss, and despair threaten to unravel everything he has fought for. This season is shaping up to be ReZero's darkest and most intense chapter yet. It's rumored to air around early 2026, marking the return of one of anime's most brutal and beautifully tragic journeys. Because if every death gave Subaru another chance to move forward, this time, even coming back might not be enough. Next up, we have a story that blends beauty, brutality, and the desperate will to live. Hell's Paradise. Season 1 introduced us to Gabimaru, the invincible assassin sent on a mission to the island of Shinsenkyo to retrieve the elixir of life. What began as a quest for immortality soon became a descent into madness and revelation. Gabimaru fought both monsters and the ghosts of his past, all for one reason: to reunite with the woman he loves. Now, Season 2 will take us straight into the Horai arc, the longest and most intense storyline in Hell's Paradise. This is where everything escalates. Gabimaru and his group infiltrate the inner layer of the island, known as Horai, the heart of paradise itself. Their mission is simple: find the elixir of life and escape. But what awaits them is anything but simple. New foes emerge, alliances are tested, and the immortal Tensen begin to move with terrifying intentions. This season will push every character to their limit. Expect betrayals, mind-blowing revelations, and some of the most brutal, beautifully choreographed battles in modern anime. And through it all, Gabimaru's evolution takes center stage, as the assassin once known as the Hollow begins to truly question what it means to live, to love, and to dream again. It's expected to air in January 2026, and if Season 1 was about surviving hell, then Season 2 will be about escaping it, no matter what it costs. Up next, we have the long-awaited return of one of the biggest modern shonen series, Black Clover. After years of waiting, Asta and Yuno are finally back, and this time, the stakes couldn't be higher. Season 2 is set to adapt two of the most monumental arcs in the entire series, the Spade Kingdom raid and the beginning of the final saga. These chapters aren't just battles, they're the culmination of everything the series has built toward since episode 1. Season 2 brings together a powerful alliance between kingdoms, united against the terrifying Dark Triad. Expect some of the most intense magic duels the series has ever seen, emotional sacrifices, and turning points that will redefine characters. And at the center of it all, Asta's growth reaches a whole new level, proving once again that even without magic, he stands shoulder to shoulder with the strongest mages. Behind the scenes, the new season is rumored to adopt a seasonal format. That means shorter, tightly produced cores instead of year-round episodes, ensuring higher quality animation and fewer filler arcs. Season 2 is expected to air sometime in 2026, marking the end of a 5-year wait for fans who've been holding out for Black Clover's grand return. Because this isn't just another magic battle. It's the moment where rivals, friends, and enemies alike rise to decide the future of the Wizard King's legacy. Moving on, the glimmering world of fame takes another dark turn with Oshi no Ko. Season 2 ended with the worlds of fame and revenge colliding, leaving both Aqua and Ruby standing on opposite sides of a truth too painful to face. And now, in Season 3, the spotlight only gets brighter and far more dangerous. Ruby's rise as an idol begins to take center stage, but behind the smiles and flashing lights, cracks start to show. The price of fame begins to weigh heavily, and her journey to stardom leads her into choices that test her resolve and her heart. Meanwhile, Aqua's quiet search for the truth continues to spiral deeper into darkness. Secrets buried in the entertainment industry start to resurface, and every new revelation pulls him closer to a confrontation that could change everything. As the cameras roll on a new film that blurs the line between fiction and reality, emotions run raw, trust shatters, and the siblings find themselves facing the legacy of the one person who defined their lives, Ai Hoshino. Season 3 is expected to air in January 2026, and it promises to be the most dramatic and emotional season yet, because behind every dazzling performance lies a truth, and this time, the stage lights won't be able to hide it. Next up, get ready to pay respect to the one of the OGs as it makes its final stand, Bleach. After 2 decades of battles, betrayals, and unforgettable moments, Bleach is finally approaching its endgame. Ichigo's journey has taken him from an ordinary high schooler with a sword to the protector of worlds. And now everything comes down to this, one last war that will decide the fate of Soul Society itself. The final season will bring together every thread the story has been weaving. As Soul Society, Hueco Mundo, and the human world begin to collapse into one, Ichigo and his allies fight their final battle to stop the power that threatens to erase existence itself. Expect jaw-dropping Bankai reveals, and a finale that pushes every character, hero and villain alike, to their absolute limit. With Studio Pierrot returning to give this era the send-off it deserves, the animation, choreography, and visual style have never looked more stunning. Each clash, each bankai, and each sacrifice will carry the full weight of 20 years of history. It's expected to air some point in 2026, marking the end of another one from Big 3. This isn't just a finale, it's the closing act of a story that defined our childhood. Next up, we got the fantasy series that proved you don't need magic to be extraordinary, Wisteria, Wand and Sword. Season 1 ended on a somber note, following the tragedy at the all-student practice where many lives were lost. Despite Will's incredible strength and determination, the world of magic left little room for a boy who could wield only a sword. But even as others doubted him, his resolve never broke, because his dream to climb the tower and keep his promise still burns brighter than any spell. Season 2 picks up with Will facing his greatest challenge yet. The academy is in turmoil, the city stands on the brink of chaos, and a mysterious new threat has descended from the skies, bringing destruction that even the strongest mages cannot stop. When magic itself fails, it's the boy with no magic who steps forward, sword in hand, ready to defy fate once again. This season promises larger-scale battles, emotional confrontations, and the long-awaited moment where Will's determination finally begins to shake the very foundations of the magical world that once rejected him. It's expected to air in April 2026, and it's shaping up to be a defining chapter in Will's journey, because in a world ruled by wands and spells, sometimes all you need to change destiny is a sword. Next up, the world is burning brighter than ever for the explosive finale of Fire Force. After years of intense battles, shocking revelations, and fiery determination, Fire Force is finally reaching its endgame. The story now races toward its final arc, where hope and despair collide in a spectacular showdown that promises to tie every thread together. This is where everything changes. Season 3 will adapt the manga's final chapters, known for delivering some of the most emotional and thought-provoking storytelling in the series. What begins as a war against chaos soon becomes something much deeper, a story about belief, sacrifice, and the unbreakable will to keep moving forward even when the world turns to ash. But there's more to this finale than meets the eye. The final arc doesn't just close Fire Force's story, it also connects directly to Soul Eater, revealing a twist that redefines both universes and sets the stage for something even bigger. Season 3, Part 2 is expected to air in January 2026, bringing Fire Force to its blazing conclusion. Because this isn't just the end of a battle, it's the moment where one era burns away and another is born from the ashes. But before we wrap up, there are still a few exciting sequels you should definitely keep an eye on. Madoka Magica movie is set to hit theaters in February 2026, and Made in Abyss is also returning with a sequel movie next year. Yeah, the upcoming year is absolutely stacked with long-awaited returns that are sure to fire up every degenerate otaku just like me. Now tell me, which returning anime are you most excited for? Drop your pick in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming countdowns, reviews, and anime deep dives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.